I'm going to give you a quick introduction about what is BSV blockchain and what is it going to do. BSV is not processing 193 transactions per second like PayPal. BSV is not processing 2,700 transactions per second like hybrid ledger. BSV today is processing 5,000 transactions per second. And actually, the target by the end of this year is 100,000 transactions per second. That's 4 times the transactions is currently processed in Visa globally. BSV Blockchain is here today to tell you the story about the world's most powerful blockchain. It's my pleasure as BSV lead for Middle East government initiatives to introduce to you a few of those successful projects that have been done in the BSV blockchain. BSV is built on the original blockchain that designed for massive data scale, for transaction, and designed for also to fix the challenges that we face today in our current version of the internet. And that is actually the challenge we have. We use the internet of information so that currently, and hopefully we will with this massive data scaling, we move into the internet of values, which is you can transfer values securely, you transfer values fast and with a fraction of the pennies. So BSV offering today 5,000 transactions per second, targeting 100 transactions by the end of the year per second, and 4 gigabytes blocks data capacity per block, and fraction of the penny that the cost of per transaction, and 1,000 projects that they have been developed right now in the BSV blockchain. So I'm not gonna speak theoretically about what is BSV blockchain. I'm just gonna give this quick introduction so I can introduce you to those projects so people can tell you exactly. But later on, tomorrow, our founding president, Nguyen, will be speaking on the main stage about the BSV blockchain and elaborate in this point I have just described. So, in general, BSV is using a technology that we all here to learn about more and more about fintech. But we have 3 successful projects. I'm going to introduce them one by one. First, we have Simit Naik from nChain. So I'd like to invite Simit to come to the stage and speak about the company nChain. And hopefully, later after that, we'll give you 5 minutes and then we'll introduce the next guest.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Simit Naik. nChain is a global leader in blockchain research and development. And so I'm here to talk to you about how we can use data and payments to revolutionize fintech. How can we use data and payments to drive the next evolution in the way we do commerce? But let me start with a question. Put your hands up if you think about cryptocurrency when you hear the term blockchain. Okay. And put your hands up if you think about NFTs when you hear about blockchain. Okay, good. And put your hand up if you think about data when you think about blockchain. All right, well, that's good, because we're obviously here to talk about data and payments. But more importantly, we're here to talk about blockchain and the fact that blockchain is more than just cryptocurrency. It's more than just NFTs. You know, blockchain has the power to revolutionize the way we share data, the way we use data, but more importantly, the way we value data. And when we think about blockchain and the ability to do peer-to-peer payments and micropayments, it also allows us to revolutionize the way we look at how we do payments and commerce, especially in an ever-changing digital ecosystem. And so the two kind of concepts I want to kind of cover off very quickly is data and payments. From a data perspective, I want to talk about value. How do we introduce value to data? How do we build trust in data? And how do we use data to make it easy for us to do business on a global scale? And when we think about payments, how can we introduce new payment systems to be able to support things like metaverse, to support things like NFTs, but also to drive financial inclusion and financial education across the world? And so when we think about data, we think about things that are redundant. We consume data every day. We use data to make decisions. We use data to make business critical decisions. And we use data to figure out what we want to do next. But data has a problem. It has a problem with integrity. All across the world, we generate hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of petabytes of data. We use this data to make decisions that change our lives on a daily basis. But do we really know that data? Can we really trust that data? And how do we ensure the integrity of that data? Especially when we start looking at how we're going to use data to make decisions, across different jurisdictions or countries, or even different enterprises. And to kind of illustrate it, at nChain, we commissioned a report to interview 200 different people across a number of different industries, from financial services, all the way through healthcare, telecoms, and media. And the question was, to what extent do you believe that your data has errors? So how confident are you that the data you're using day to day is error-free, that has no issues, and you can trust in that data? And so I'm just going to quickly skip through, because I just want to highlight some of the most important kind of results that we got from this report. So over 50% of the people we interviewed, so over 100 people, said they know and they believe that there's data that cannot be trusted, that isn't right and isn't accurate. And they're using that data to make decisions. Over 85% don't trust the data that they use within their audit, for the regulatory reporting, and for general reporting purposes. And more worryingly, only 7% out of the 220 people we interviewed actually believe and trust in their data. And so what we do at nChain is we want to kind of change that perception. We want to enable trust in data. And that's part of what we do at nChain. We build the products, we build the solutions that enable our clients to actually trust in the data that they rely upon. One of the things we've built is a set of products that sits on top of blockchain that makes it very easy for people to leverage the core capability of blockchain, everything from immutability to distribution to resilience. And we make it easy for people to then build their domains and their products and services on top. Make it very easy for them to share data, to use data, to build data that they can trust upon. And so some of the examples of how we use this technology is by building healthcare systems, electronic healthcare records, how we can build a more resilient auditing system, how we can support regulatory reporting, how we can start capturing more information and more data related to some of the most important processes and life cycles that we all interact with on a daily basis. And so that's what we do at nChain, is build out solutions that allow us to supply our clients with technology that gives them the ability to not only trust the data, but to ensure that they're working with the right data. And for us, that's a very important concept. On the payment side, we know the payment landscape is changing. Everything from metaverse to NFTs to even the introduction of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. The way we use payments, the way we see payments is changing. And we know that the payment systems today, they're fragile, they're expensive, they don't natively support digital payments. And so again, we want to revolutionize the way we can make payments. My role at nChain is to lead on the central bank digital currency programs. And so we're using blockchain technology to change the way we can digitize payments, the way we can provide better mechanisms for people to access money and cash, especially in the developing world. And so all of our systems, and we have two main systems focused on cash and money, utilize the underlying benefits of blockchain, everything from kind of immutability, but more importantly, introduce innovation like micro and nano payments, being able to process transactions at scale at fractions of a cent. And this technology and this approach allows us to kind of change the way we see payments. It allows us to do micro payments. It allows us to change the way we consume services. And it allows us to introduce new business models. But more importantly, it allows us to be able to include people who aren't included in the digital economy today. We can include them going forward. So financial inclusion is a very strong part of what we want to do at nChain. Now, we talked about data and we talked about payments, and this is where we now start to converge those two ideas. And we can think about traditional payment solutions like PayPal, Visa, MasterCard. We can think about data solutions like Oracle, SAP, SAS. And when we overlay blockchain, we can start seeing providers are focused very much on data and payments. But what we do at nChain with the BSV blockchain is converge those two concepts. So we can overlay data and we can overlay payments. And it's that value, the ability to create immutable audit trails, to create data that we can all trust and rely upon, and overlay it with payments, allows us to generate value in the data. Data no longer becomes a redundant commodity. It becomes one of the most important commodities of the 21st century. And this is what we do at nChain, is to deliver the benefits of both cash, payments, and data. Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Simit. That was a very interesting and very exciting presentation. So our next speaker is Maxmilian. He is the managing director of two companies, actually. One of them is working in the infrastructure, and the one is P2P, software development. So would like him to come to tell us about his experience and how he built his journey on the BSV blockchain.
I am the managing director of two companies. One of them is a construction company. It's located in Frankfurt, Germany. It's called Stabilwerk Bau. And the other one is a blockchain startup I founded last year. At first glance, it sounds like two different trajectories, right? I mean, construction and blockchain software. But no. I have been working for 17 years in the construction industry now. And I learned the hard way that the construction industry is broken. So I decided to solve the problems of construction industry utilizing the power of blockchain. That's why I founded my blockchain startup. Now I'm developing an app which is called Bau app to solve the issues in the construction industry. We address in the Bau app several issues, including the technical ones, but today we'll be talking about the payment problems in the construction industry and how we are trying to solve it. Okay, so our mission is to provide an all-in-one construction management solution, including payments through smart contracts. As I mentioned, Bau app includes innovative solutions for technical issues on the construction site and in terms of project management of construction projects. We'll talk about the payment part today. One of the biggest problems in the construction industry is cash flow. Imagine a subcontractor which has 4 or 5 workers, construction workers. They just hop from job to job. They live day to day. They don't have a huge amount of capital stack they can use. So they need money early. My construction company solved this problem using the BSV blockchain. We have issued a token on the BSV blockchain, and with this token, we offer our customers 10% discount if they decide to pay the money using this token. It's called Stabilwerk token, Stabilwerk Bau credits, and it runs on the BSV blockchain. So if the customer pays us the amount they need to pay in advance using this token, they get a 10% discount. This is the incentive for the customer. Our incentive for that is that we get our money in advance, which is a very important advantage for us. So we know how much money we will get. We get the money in advance, and we actually use this capital to construct, to do the building work. As I said, I learned that the construction industry is broken the hard way. The 17 years I worked in the construction industry taught me this the hard way. I have seen that the construction industry is the least digitalized sector and the least efficient industry ever. And this is also the outcome of the research that has been carried out by the Global Institute of Digitalization and by McKinsey. So what's the solution? We're working on it. Don't fret. The solution is BAO app. With BAO app, we provide a platform on which participants of construction projects can agree on contracts and run the construction projects using our web application. The payments, when the payments are due, they are pre-programmed and they are executed directly via smart contracts. So the stakeholders of construction projects, the client, the contractor, the subcontractor, the laborers, they know that they will definitely get their money, and they know when they will get the money. This is an important advantage for the stakeholders of construction projects and the efficiency of the construction industry overall. It works this way. The customers, the players of the project, the stakeholders of the project find each other using BAO app in the marketplace, and then they sign the contract on blockchain, and their contract is also stored on the blockchain. Their documents are also stored on the blockchain, so everybody can go and check, everybody within the project can go and check if they have a certain type of certificate, for example. And then when the payments are due, the payments are pre-programmed and they are automatically triggered using the smart contracts that we program. How we earn money, we get 2 per mil, like 0.2% of the amount paid. As BAO app, this is our share. So all contracts are digitally signed on the app. The money is directly paid, it's pre-programmed, and a detailed payment report is generated for each payment. Why we're doing is I read a study, I did market research, and I've seen that the construction companies are now finally ready to invest in digital solutions that make their business their businesses efficient. If you're interested in such a solution, please contact me. I'll be around. Other than that, thank you very much for your attendance.
Thank you very much, Maxmilian. Our next speaker is Mohammed Salman Anjum. He is the head of the BSV Blockchain in Middle East. He will be telling us about his journey with InvoiceMate. He's also the chief mate of InvoiceMate, a company that's built on the BSV blockchain.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum, Riyadh. It's been always a pleasure coming back in the country of my birth and speaking about the revolutionary technology named as blockchain. Since you have already seen the slide, it says InvoiceMate. So this is what sector which we are trying to disrupt with the blockchain technology. So InvoiceMate is powered by BSV Blockchain, And since like last two presentations, you've been hearing how BSV blockchain is revolutionizing the data part of the digital transformation. You heard from Sumit about the Kansai as a solution. You heard from our recent speaker, Max, about how BSV blockchain is bringing value to the construction industry. But it is also important to deal with the most commonly used document, which is known as invoice. So yes, invoices are the largest used commercial documents. We all face issues, like we always do calls to our clients, where is my invoice payment? And they always say, it's still in the process, we have not received the right version. These are all of the things, and so many other inefficiencies which are there in the invoice processing and payment cycles. That's what you need to solve. And the solution with the technology of a blockchain is available. So now, there are some challenges which generally been addressed with the normal digital transformation technologies like conventional ones, but blockchain is the real solution for them. This is what we are doing now. The complete journey has been designed for the trusted and efficient layer. And that is what, from supplier onboarding to client onboarding and creating your invoice, submitting it to the clients or vendors, and then the approval process gets involved, where there's a lot of workflow, cross-functional, cross-organizational, you have to adhere with. And finally, you have to make payments. And if you don't have payments, we all know that there is invoice financing availability as well, which is a big challenge these days. So you need to have a know your invoice service now with the power of blockchain. And that is, again, we are bringing with the BSV-powered blockchain service. This is how the whole ecosystem of the invoicing gets on one single source of truth, from the suppliers and clients to all of the cross-functional departments and the cross-organizational, and then they just do the real-time reconciliation as well, which is again a big issue with the invoicing workflows, especially with the SMEs and also with the large organizations. We do have 3 extra elements with the legacy integrations, integrations with the legacy technologies, and then payment gateways integration for the digital payments, and finally, you have FinMate, which provides you the Know Your Invoice service, which is the first ever in the world. Why we are using BSV blockchain? Because it's the #1 for the enterprise and government solutions. Simply because it's low cost, it's high performance, big blocks which are needed for the enterprise solutions. Now, these are some of the differentiators beyond the chain we are using. Like we are, of course, bringing the integrity to the whole cycle of the invoice on a chain, but there are AI components. There are analytics through the big data you will be finding in. You have a dedicated chat messenger. You have vendor management system. And then, of course, Know Your Invoice coming through the FinMate, and a lot of payment gateways are payment checkouts through the PayMate. We have already installed it to the first of our client, which is Saudi government entity named as SALIC, Saudi Agriculture and Livestock Investment Authority. So this is about their case study. They have different ecosystem players, stakeholders, coming from supplier side. They have their own advantages. Approvers, reviewers, and approvers, they have their own advantages. Of course, accounting staff's workload is 50% down now. They have more access. And finally, the CFO and the company leadership also have their own benefits. So with this application been already running, this is creating a return on investment in the real sense. So we are not just doing a blockchain solution for the sake of trend. It is basically bringing ROI to a live organization for their pain points of invoicing and different issues, payment issues. This is, again, app first, and we have all of the features in different dedicated apps for the reviewers, approvers, to the vendors who will be sending you the invoices through OCR-enabled apps. We are the world's first, and at the moment, the only blockchain-powered invoice management system. And if you do compare us with our contemporary players like Oracle and SAP, and we do have features ahead of them. Already, as I said, we are been implemented by SALIC, we've been implemented by the Canadian and South Asian companies, and also now we are in discussion with the UAE companies as well. This is the amazing team which has brought this all together. We have amazing partners around the world, and we do look forward now for amazing partners in Saudi Arabia as well. This is our offer today. For all of the delegates here in LEAP, you have a free download of InvoiceMate. You can download it through Play Store, web, or your Apple Store as well. With this, if this is not visible, I'll keep it for 30 seconds. You can use it, and I'll be available for any questions, any discussion on InvoiceMate, how it can solve your problems of invoicing through blockchain power. With this, I would also like to introduce, if we have our founding president, and we have a few minutes for us, and he can share some thoughts about his keynote tomorrow, right? So I invite Jimmy Nguyen, our founding president of BSV Blockchain.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and thank you for taking time to come to the FinTech stage and listen to some of our exciting companies in the BSV blockchain world. We're really trying to actually bring real utility and power to blockchain because we're tired of the 10 plus years of a blockchain industry where everyone just talks about trading of assets. And while it's great to make money, we want to actually use blockchain at massive scale so it can become the data network that works with the internet to do what it was born to do, actually transmit financial value and data value much more efficiently. In addition to these companies, we have exciting ventures around the world, such as Centbee in South Africa. It is a mobile wallet that uses BSV to allow people to pay for everything from their stores to electricity and utilities. And they've launched a remittance product on BSV called Minute Money, which reduces the cost and time that it's necessary for people to send money to their family and friends in other countries, which is very important for migrant workers or expats who move to other countries. It's operating in 8 African countries, and with their costs, instead of paying 6 to 8% of the remittance amount, which is a lot of money for migrant workers, they pay a flat amount, which works out to about $3.25 in the United States terms, which I believe is about 10, 12 real. Four in real. How many is that in real? You'll tell me in a second. It makes it much more efficiently to send any amount of money anywhere in the world through remittance and receive it instantly on the other end, not waiting 5 or 7 days. It uses BSV as the ledger for settlement on both sides. And it's an example of how a much more scaled blockchain, not like Ethereum, which does just a small amount of transactions per second and can cost 40 or 80 US dollars to do one Ethereum transaction. On BSV, this is all possible because it costs 1/20th to 1/100th of a US cent to send a payment transaction on BSV. Therefore, you can build business models where you can send efficiently anywhere in the world, not $1 million. We did not need blockchain to make a financial system where you can send huge amounts of money. The financial system already does that. We need a scaled blockchain and fintech infrastructure where you can efficiently send 1 US penny, less than 1 US penny, remittance, creating assets, and doing things that really empower everyone. This is an event here at LEAP to change the way we live for the better, not just in Saudi Arabia, but around the world. If you're interested in that kind of world and a blockchain that has the scale, power, speed, low efficiency, and reliability to accomplish everything that you see in this hall on blockchain, come talk to us. I'll be speaking tomorrow on the keynote stage around 12 noon, and we are happy to help all of you live out your dreams of a better way to live with technology with BSV.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. And this is the closing argument. It's all about data. It's all about scalability. And it's all about the cost of transactions per second. It's not about fancy terms that you hear in other blockchains. We believe that we have the strongest blockchain, just like he's demonstrating the case in about 2-3 minutes about what is BSV blockchain, what is the power of the blockchain. As I mentioned in my opening remarks, BSV has the potential to transform the way that we use the internet today, from the internet of information to the Internet of Value. Data can flow slowly and clearly and in a way that is very efficient and bringing integrity, bringing efficiency and scalability. And everybody working with technology know this is a pain. So with that, we close our argument. And please talk to us. We have our ecosystem here, and we can be more than we'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you very much.